Hi, and welcome to Sneaker Lab, and specifically the design stage, and how you are going to get some ideas from your head so that other people can see them. The tool we've got here is Vizcom. It's an AI tool. This is the website, and it's just vizcom.ai to get to it, and you can see some lovely examples of the work. There's lots of demo videos and things, so you can watch that if you want. To get stuck in, you will need an account, but that should hopefully be sorted for you. I have set up a workspace here just for Sneaker Lab activities, and I've not set up this as a pro. So if you've got access to a pro account, it might look a little bit different. When you click on New, you want to name your file. So you can call it train or run. If like and you click off it, you can always go back and rename it thereafter. You can choose the paper size that you're working on, and you can upload an image here. So if you have drawn your idea on a piece of paper, you can upload that image just by clicking the upload image, and then that will show you down to generate, and I'll do another wee short video for demonstrating that. Otherwise, you can choose one of the prerequisites here, and it just jumps straight into the drawing tool. Now, as a drawing tool, we have layers and options of layers over at the left hand side. We have the AI tools on the right hand side, and then we've got the canvas in the middle. Now, if you're using a graphics tablet or a touch screen, then you'll be able to draw on it with a pen or a stylus. If you are using a mouse, it might be a little bit more challenging. Deliberately, I am using a mouse here so you can see very rough example. Our drawing tools are up the top here, so you can see there's things like the symmetry tool to be able to make something symmetrical, but given it's a trainer, we probably don't want that. Now, the color wheel is here if you want to change colors, which then impact on the colors that we would get in the render. So instead of going black, I'm going to go for a nice red trainer here. And using my mouse, I'm just going to get a rough trainer shape drawn here, like so, and then I'll try and get this right tongue part, and insert where your shoe fits. I can then think about, right, I want to start drawing on top of this. And interestingly, you might notice at the right hand side as I'm doing this, the prompt is actually pre-generated for us to say, okay, based on the information of what it can see, it's guessing what I'm drawing. So that can help you as well. But what I'd say is if your drawing, like mine, is not fantastic, don't panic, because this tool here is going to help us get to somewhere of what we want it to look like. I don't want to change the sizes of. The middle mouse button lets you change size of tools really easily. I'm going to try and get some laces here, like that, a wee bit more curved. Let's do a curved one. Now, I'm sure you'll agree, my drawing's not that good. That's kind of what I'm going for here. So once I've got a rough shape of this trainer, you could use the brush tool, and I can change the size and colour bits in. So if I wanted a particular colour, let's go for a little bit of brighter orange, and then I might say actually I want to make the brush bigger, and you can see now it's a larger shape brush, and I will colour in an area like so. So if you wanted to colour in, and obviously the more care, the better it's going to look. That would work as well. So that would be all options that you can do. If you make a mistake, you can always press the back button as well if you're not happy with something to jump back. Now that I've got a trainer, I am going to say in my prompt here, red coloured cloth trainer. And I might say white sole. And I'm going to put in some other terms such as modern, sleek, and this is where you can start pulling on your user profile and the work you've done for identifying what the interests or materials they would like. If you do have material samples that you're like, oh, I really want to look like this, you can press the add button here and upload an image of your materials. Now that I've got this, I'm going to use the render button, and you can see I can choose how many times I want to do it. Now on the Pro license, you get to do it 4 times at a time, free license, you only get to do it once. So I've set this up as a free license, so you can see doing one at a time. So the render tool, depending on your internet, will take a little moment, and then it will render a shoe for you. Now, I've not changed any other settings, so it is prioritizing my drawing, keeping it similar to my drawing, and then using the text prompt to add detail. And so there you can say, oh, well, actually, that's not too bad. So we can add this to the canvas by pressing the add button here, and then we'll have to exit the render tool by pressing the X button here. And you can see now I've got this new version here as a layer, and I can turn that on and off. And you can see how it's very much stayed true to the shape and the lines that I drew with my mouse here. So you might say, well, actually, I mean, my drawing's not that good. I want it to look better. So in that case, take your slider on your drawing influence and slide it down. Now, my experience is you don't have to pull it like crazy amounts to get massive differences. So don't feel you have to go like to an extreme. Just put it down by 5-10%. Give it a try, see how it looks. And again, I'll let you see the before and after here, so you can see how it tweaks and changes my trainer based on how important that drawing is. So you can see that's a much cleaner trainer than the previous one. Hopefully straight off the bat, the sole looks much nicer, the shape is more consistent, the lines are nicer. So if I press that button, do this, and you can see just how it's cleaning up the trainer shape there. So step number one, we can do that. If you're then like, right, okay, I really want to add some more details to this, the refine button can let you really refine it. And I'm going to say, well, now my drawing's really good because that's what it looks like. And if I press generate, this is where it adds small details to the shoe. It can be hard to notice it at first, but you can as well draw on top to get to refine particular areas of the shoe. But it's where it will just really punch out the threads or try and make small details. And again, I can press the add button. It doesn't matter how many times you add layers, you're not limited. So you can say, well, which one do I prefer? Like, or you might say, I like bits, like I quite like the rubber part here on the original, but I think the stitching stands out more on this one. Now, depending if that's the one you want, then you could leave that layer on, and you could use the rubber tool, and you could rub out the bits you don't want. Again, you can change the size so you're not there all day. So I might say, well, actually, I want to keep the original rubber bit. So now you can see how I've rubbed out that, and I've got the rubber bit from this shoe, and then I have the rest of the trainer. So that would be examples of that. Once you're at this stage, you can see I can be like, right, what other things would I like to do? So you've got to generate 3D. Now, 3D model takes your drawing and makes it into a 3D model. It can take a wee moment to do this, and obviously based on the shape and what it believes it is, it's going to add what it looks like on the other side of the shoe. So at times, generally, I find it really good for trainers, but you might need to just experiment a wee bit if the tongue shape, for example, is not obvious. And you can see here it's saying load in 3D model, and there we go. We have a 3D model of our shoe. Arguably, it's still perfect. You can see like the laces, it's not quite understood the assessment there, but that's something you could send to a 3D printer right now to get a 3D print of your shoe. That's something we could take into Gravity Sketch to see in 3D and hold and view it. So that is a quick whistle-stop tour to show you steps to get to the point of a 3D model on Vizcom. The best thing is jump on, give it a try, play, experiment, delete, rub, draw on top, and see what you can create.